what's up? It's Kermit Fang here, and I have Sean Fay Wolf with me today. Say hi! Come on, Sean, say hi!
I don't wanna.
Aw, why not?
You tried to kill me last time!
I did not. I just punished you for doing shit to me.
Oh my god, do you really think that making that Louis Capaldi song become popular wasn't already eating away at me from the inside? You had to eat away at me from the outside, too?
For that train wreck, no, but I still owed you for possessing me a few years ago. As far as I'm concerned, we're even.
She says as she invites me to talk about my least favorite song of 2007.
What, didn't you read the title? We're not talking about Girlfriend today.
Wait, we're not? Oh my god, thank God, because here I was thinking that
we are talking about the worst version of it.
Fuck!
So, when I was a kid, Avril Lavigne was one of my favorite artists. I remember blasting her music in the room I shared with my sisters. She was, at the time, my impression of a female rock star. Her first two albums, Under My Skin and Let Go, were both interesting, well-written, and memorable projects that, for the most part, stand the test of time, and showed Avril to be an interesting, fun, and introspective artist. That impression actually lasted through the release of Girlfriend, a song I like more than certain others.
I hate you.
But ended with the release of The Best Damn Thing, the title track to her third album, as well as the last single from it.
As far as my relationship with Avril Lavigne goes, well, I really don't have much of one. I didn't really start paying attention to pop music until the start of the 2010s, and by then Avril Lavigne was definitely yesterday's fad to the public on whole. Of course, I have tangoed with the Avril Lavigne phenomenon before, most notably when I named Girlfriend as my least favorite pop song of 2007, but beyond that, I'm mostly coming to this conversation as an outsider looking in, and trying to understand what made this woman's career crash and burn after reaching such tremendous highs. And in order to do that, I think that there's one question that we have to answer first and foremost. What was Avril Lavigne doing right in the first place?
I think I can answer that question. She was being herself. He was a skater boy, she said, see you later, boy. Avril's music during her first two album cycles was rather straightforward. It wasn't too much to look at on its own, and that was by design. The entire point was to focus on her songwriting and what she was trying to get across to her audience. She didn't beat around the bush, she was just being honest. Be it with how she felt or even what she saw. It made her music stand out in a way that it wouldn't have with a different artist behind it. And despite me liking the first lead single, that's definitely something that changed with the third album. This album's focus was not on the songwriting. It was, for the most part, centered around Avril having fun in whatever way she could. And save for this one song, I absolutely loathe it. A couple years back I gave this album a 2 out of 10, and now I think that was being too nice to it. If you didn't like Girlfriend, you're not gonna find anything better, hate to say.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you there. Even as someone who only listened to these albums recently in preparation for this video, I can tell you that Avril hit a definitive turning point in 2007. And honestly, I think the best comparison I can draw as to what happened to her would be Eminem. This looks like a job for me, so everybody just follow me. Even though they are very different from an artistic standpoint, I kind of see Eminem and Avril Lavigne as two sides of the same coin as far as their evolution as artists over the 2000s went. Most of them became superstars early in the decade, not just by speaking to younger, more cynical, and mostly white listeners, but by breaking the mold of how that could be done. Avril's early work has the same pop-punk production and stylings you could find in your Blink-182s and Sum 41s, you know, the TRL sound, but with the voice of an actual teenage girl just speaking her mind. While Slim Shady basically spent the first 3 years of the 2000s speaking his mind about every bullshitty thing he perceived in the world around him, and in the process ended up telling a bunch of angry white boys exactly what they wanted to hear. Here's the thing though. Both of them started out like that because they were just being themselves. The problems came about when they realized that what they were saying was marketable.
So they were actually trying to do their thing instead of letting it come to them naturally like they did before. Yeah, I can see that. Encore was just a garbage album all the way through, and The Best Damn Thing is just abysmal. Its title track, in my opinion, being the worst track on it. You ready, Sean?
That is a loaded question, and you know it.
True. Let's go. Let me hear you say, hey, hey, hey! Hey, hey, hey! And right off the bat, we have our first problem. What a way to start.
I mean, hey, at least it doesn't jerk you around. tells you exactly what you're getting into in the first 10 seconds, and if you decide to stay around, then that's on you.
And yet, here we are.
And yet, here we are.
This call and response introduction is just obnoxious. It's like listening to a bunch of cheerleaders start a prep rally for their bored classmates. Which, if that's what we were listening to, we'd be having a much better day. The loud percussion is an instant turnoff, and even with those guitars, it just doesn't sound fun. What?
Oh, nothing.
No, what? What is it?
Oh, well, it's just that you say that loud production is a turnoff, and then you go and endorse this.
Hey, you, I don't like your girlfriend. No way, think you need a new one.
You really want to start this debate with me, Faye Pup? Really?
Okay, we'll just put this on the back burner for now, then.
Alright, now let me hear you say hey, hey, ho. Hey, hey, ho.
The production to this song is just odd. The introduction and verses are all drums with only a few guitar flourishes. And put behind Avril rapping some pretty bad lines, which we'll go over in a minute, just makes the song sound awkward and stiff. But then the pre-chorus shows up and breaks the cohesion of the song.
Where are the hopes? Where are the dreams?
This is honestly the best part. The piano touches are nice, the drums aren't in your face as much, and the guitar and bass are pretty nice to boot. Avril's contribution is also really good, and I like her lyrics here. And then the chorus comes in and destroys everything.
Oh, the chorus? You mean the part where she goes...
Sean, stop it! Seriously, stop! That's really annoying! I'm getting a headache here, like... fucking wolves, take him down!
Oh God! Oh my God! No, not again! Oh God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Ow!
Bless you, peace.
Happening to me.
Yeah, this chorus is in your face with literally everything. The drums, the bass, the guitar, Avril, they all sound like they were pushed to the top of the mix, leaving the whole thing sounding cramped. Combine that with Avril Lavigne screaming and not singing, and this chorus is hell. Although it is still miles better than her rap bridge.
Oh God, she made another one of those? Oh my God, stop! No, please stop! Oh my God, no, please,
As much
please,
fun
oh
as this
God.
is.
Oh,
Wolves,
God.
get off him!
Oh. Oh my God. Oh my God. Thank you. Okay, so what were we talking about? Yeah, the everything. Well, I mean, nothing you've said about this song has been wrong. The reason that the pre-chorus to this song is tolerable is because Avril Lavigne is actually singing, not rapping or screaming. And beyond that, the melody of the pre-chorus is rather nice, and combine that with the wistful lyrics about wanting to be whisked away into a fairy tale where she can find her Prince Charming. I mean, fine, it's pretty standard love song shit, and I don't really mind it at all. And then she starts rapping about PMS.
I hate it when a guy doesn't understand why a certain time of month I don't want to hold his hand.
Yep, we can only talk about the production and composition of this song for so long before we actually get to the words coming out of Avril's mouth. On the chorus, Avril's shout singing is obnoxious. On the verses, her rapping style makes me long for the sweet release of Vanilla Ice. But at the end of the day, what sinks this song are the lyrics. Because even outside the PMS line, this entire song just makes Avril come across as just the most odious little brat.
Agreed. Not like the way they were put together helps matters. The PMS line is just an example of what Avril doesn't like in guys. Other lines include him not getting the door, doesn't get the tab because her paying for once looks bad, and I hate it when they go out and we stay in and they come home smelling like their ex-girlfriend. What a rhyme.
And yet, that still somehow manages to be the least offensive lyric in the verses.
True. It holds nothing on the pre-chorus, though, which has absolutely nothing wrong with its lyrics. And the chorus addresses a specific guy out of nowhere.
This entire song is just a clusterfuck of wishy-washy cliches with nothing really binding them together. She goes from daydreaming about the perfect guy to whining about all the things she hates about bad boyfriends to then addressing a specific guy as if she's trying to steal him from his girlfriend. It's just a total mess, and all of it is delivered in the most juvenile, tactless way possible.
Sean, aren't you forgetting something?
What's that?
The bridge.
What bridge?
The bridge to the song?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, come on, you know, the bridge. The bridge to the best damn thing.
Seriously, I don't know what you're talking about. The best damn thing has no bridge.
Oh, come on, did you seriously not even bother to listen to the... Oh, okay. I see what you're getting at.
Always give me what I want.
The bridge is Avril rapping again, and somehow even more obnoxious than on the verses. The guitar flourishes are grating, and she has her name spelled out like some cheerleader chant, either bragging about herself or handing out orders. At least that's how I take them. And let's not forget the worst moment on the entire damn album. What was that audio nightmare and why does it exist? I feel like I'm surrounded by Avril and her posse and all of them started screaming in my ear with a megaphone. Worst moment in the song, hands down. What do you think of it, Sean?
Man, that bridge sure doesn't exist, does it?
What bridge?
Exactly. So, yeah, that's pretty much the best damn thing. It's obnoxious both sonically and personality-wise, it's juvenile in the worst way, and it makes Avril out to be a really obnoxious presence that I can't understand how anyone could even tolerate, let alone actively go out of their way to listen to. It's easily one of the worst pop songs of the 2000s, and I think there's only one question left to answer about it. Literally everything I just said also applies to Girlfriend, and yet you still like that one. ¿Por qué?
Because it's more fun.
She's like, so whatever.
Say what you will, but the song relies more on the guitars, it's catchier, the music is cohesive all throughout, even in the rap bridge, and Avril Lavigne sounds like she's having the time of her life. And, as established in previous videos, I can enjoy songs like this. It also helps that Avril actually sounds interested in the guy and isn't bitching at him before professing her love to him. And to add to that, she's actually singing on the verses, which is a nice touch. And it's definitely much better than the obnoxious rapping we get on the best damn thing.
Well, I guess that makes sense. I mean, I can't stand Girlfriend, but at the very least, I will grant that Avril does sound like at least she's having fun with it, whereas with the best damn thing, well, she's certainly trying to sound like she's having fun, but it's, like, not real fun. It's like an uncanny valley facsimile of fun. It basically just sounded like she tried to write another 3 minutes of Girlfriend, even though she had absolutely no ideas for it.
I completely agree. Girlfriend looks like a fluke when you put it next to this. Avril Lavigne, without her songwriting, would not be considered all that great. Instrumentally, her work isn't really all that unique. It was her greatest asset, something that even now, after going through her rebellion phase and trying to make more serious, down-to-earth R&B, is something she doesn't remember. The strength in Girlfriend is its catchiness and Avril Lavigne enjoying herself, something that she tried to recreate many times over on songs like What the Hell and Rock and Roll. But in truth, the only song of hers that I found remotely interesting in the last decade was Let Me Go with Chad Kroeger, which is actually well written and has good production behind it.
And who knows, maybe someday Avril will be able to re-find her footing and make a comeback. Eminem managed to overcome his slump and return to his status as one of the biggest stars in the world in the 2010s. However, the way Marshall was able to do this was by finding a new musical path by focusing on overcoming his own demons and trying to find his place in the rap game, an evolution from his early work that Avril hasn't been able to match until very recently. Head Above Water from 2018 showed that Avril is definitely capable of mapping a new forward path that doesn't have anything to do with the world's cringiest display of cultural appropriation, but whether she manages to keep her footing moving forward is a book that's yet to be written, and unlike the public's open-armed embrace of Eminem, only time will tell if Avril's book will be one that people still want to read. I'm Sean Fay Wolf of Diamond X Studios, and thanks for having me on here, Fang. As far as encounters with you go, this one was refreshingly non-agonizing.
And thank you for sticking around, Sean. Maybe next time I won't have to send my wolves after you.
Well, I don't see any reason why you'd have to. I mean, you only did it the first time because someone you loved became so big, so I don't think we're gonna have any problems as long as some other Louis Capaldi song doesn't become a huge hit.
So, before you go.
Bye-bye.
You know, the wolves have done enough today, so I'll be charitable and let them go this time. But before we go, I would like to take a moment and thank my pups on Patreon, as well as tell you pups about this month's charity. My dream is to do YouTube full-time, and if half you pups donated just $2 per video, that dream would become a reality. And for $2 per main series videos, you pups will be able to vote for songs for me to talk about in my new series, The Pup Tunes. It's basically Sean's grab bag reviews with double the workload because there's a lot of you pubs and I think you deserve a greater chance to have your song choice featured in the episodes. The first episode is finally underway and will hopefully make an appearance this month. For $5 per video, you'll get your name listed here, and for $10 or more per video, you'll have a personal shout-out alongside Louis Rivera, Matt Jenkins, Nick Cage, Ryan Eister, and Temple. Thank you, pubs, so much for your support. It means so much to me, especially now that I can donate to charity. This month's charity, in honor of Pride Month, is the Trevor Project. The Trevor Project is an organization that aims to prevent suicide among LGBTQ+ youths. They have a variety of resources which can hook individuals up with a specialist, including a toll-free telephone number, free chat rooms, text messages, and a social networking site. Donating to the organization not only helps maintain these resources, but it also pays for training employees to help others. I will be hosting a charity livestream at the end of the month where I will be playing Among Us with friends and patrons. The livestream will take place on the weekend of the 26th, starting at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard. I would prefer to give you an exact date, but I watch a family friend's kid outside of YouTube, and the days I'm needed vary from week to week. I will announce the exact day sometime later this month, so stay tuned. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope y'all have a howling good time.